want to begin tonight by asking the eldest daughter, Esther. Could you tell us a little story about Esther, a little memory or something?
Of course
Share a
I
little
could.
story.
Esther has so many stories. And the one that comes to mind on this night happened when she was around Mercy's age. She couldn't have been older than 18 anyway. It's the age when you're young and foolish and bound to fall in love with anyone that casts you a kind glance. Esther had been interested in going to town more. She was obviously very grateful to the professor, but she wanted to see the world for herself. She was a young woman. It was time that she start making her own way a little bit. So she would go off to town every so often on her own. And in the grocery shop, there was a young man who would work the till. And Esther became a bit enamored with him. He was always very nice when she would buy things for the household. Always make sure to show her where the freshest produce was, or, where the new imported things were. Sometimes would give her a little bit of a discount. So Esther started leaving him little notes. Just nice notes, asking, just telling him that she hoped that he had a nice day, telling him things about herself, about her sisters. Until one day, when she was going to the store, just like any other day, as far as she was concerned, he looked at her almost scared. He asked her, how did she know? She had no idea what he meant at the time. How did she know what? On the note, how did you know? It frightened her. She didn't understand. She had only ever written simple things that didn't matter, trivial things. But he told her to stop coming around, that he didn't want to be seen with her type anymore. That was just better for both of them if she kept her distance. It was quite the devastating heartbreak for a young woman who had very little experience with something like love. She supposes now that she should have known exactly what was on that note, even if she can't remember writing it herself.
Scandalous.
Not quite.
The second eldest amongst the Godfrey sisters is Martha, one of two twins. What would Martha's little story be, I wonder?
I think Martha's story is a little bit more recent, in the last couple of years, when she first accepted a unused, unneeded body from a graveyard. It was just laying there. Hadn't even really been in the dirt that long. The man had fallen from a roof, trying to repair it. Head was crushed in. And behind her, you can see him on the table that she kept, and she's kneeling next to a small bookcase. A few books that she's taken from Crane or otherwise have found. On the spine, you can see little bloody fingerprints from where they've been pulled and put back, thumbed through. And there's a small tower and empty spaces where she's looking for something. Finds a book, seeming to be one of a few copies of an anatomy book, and starts thumbing through it. These pages more bloodied than the others. and returning to the body, looking at the exposed brain, tilting her head, and reaching in just to see where it might be softer, where exactly it got crushed. And with that same hand, taking a piece of charcoal and another book that's nearby and scrawling out a few notes, putting in as much detail as she can with what knowledge she has. It's a few pages into this new notebook. But there's another one nearby. It's closed, and it has her twin's name on it. And there's another one a little off to the side as well that has Esther's name. And under that is Mercy's. Their books are a little less bloodied than Mabel's. And if someone went into her little shop now, there are multiple notebooks with Mabel's name on them. A few less for Esther and Mercy. But the first book, where she was jotting the details of how this man died and to the extent of his injury, there's a tall stack of those. Last one left open with reinforced spine, neck, question mark.
All those stories about the Godfrey sisters being a little strange, I guess, were just hearsay. But for now, we return to the tree in question. The air is damp, and the low mist curls along the ground like something half awake. Beyond the kitchen garden, behind the inn, where the frost has already taken the basil and blackened the squash vines, the land opens into a quiet, empty field. And there, alone, stands the apple tree. Its limbs are mostly bare now, dark and twisted against the pale sky, holding just a few stubborn apples that hang like unspoken thoughts. The wind does not stir them. Nothing moves. Even the crows have gone quiet this early in the morning. The grass at the tree's base is silvered with dew and littered with red flowers, and the mist clings to its roots as if reluctant to let the tree go. Its bark is rough, cracked in places, scarred with age and seasons, but it stands upright, proud in its solitude. There's no sound but the soft drip of moisture from one of the apples, dark red and misshapen, but somehow still beautiful, and the even breathing of 4 young women, deep in sleep, on the ground at the foot of the tree. One of the apples then, without so much as a slight move sideways, drops. It bounces off the trunk of the tree, then hits the ground and rolls, sending dew flicking into the air, until it comes to a gentle stop against the cheek of Mercy Godfrey. "Wake up, tender Mercy," says the voice. And your eyes flutter open. You see the tree and your sisters asleep around it, all covered in dew and even early frost. What do you do?
I'm gonna call for Keeper.
You
It's
call
my
out.
dog.
You don't hear anything for a while, and then, just as you're starting to worry, you see bounding towards you in the mist the shape of your dog. He comes out of the mist almost like a ghost and comes up to you and jumps at you and starts licking your face.
Keeper.
Excited as all get out to see you. He's looking at you like, "Where were you? I've been looking for you everywhere."
Sisters. She'll start shaking whomever is closest to her.
And that would be a Mabel.
Oh, I feel like I've been hit by a carriage.
I had the strangest dream.
Oh my goodness. Wait, why are we outside?
Oh, it's a little wet. Esther! Martha, wake up!
Martha.
5 more minutes, Mercy. In God's name, 5 more minutes.
We've fallen asleep under a tree.
Yeah, why are we outside?
You remember everything that happened last night. You remember walking out into the fog, the inn disappearing. You remember finding the tree, the 4 headstones beneath it in old wood, and then the tree exploding into a huge flock, or shall we say, a huge murder of ravens that reached up into the sky.
Is everyone all right?
Was any of that real? It felt very real.
I think our definition of real is broader than most. Are you all right? Is anybody hurt?
Other than sleeping on dirt, I'm fine.
Yeah.
My clothes are wet.
Come on, let's get up. Hopefully there's a path back to the inn. I know Mr. Harker must be out of his mind.
Keeper, can you show us the way home? To the inn?
Very happy to do so, tail wagging, tongue lolling to the side. He takes off running, and you follow him, and you realize you're not that far from the inn after all. You're just a few feet away from it, maybe 30 feet, 40 feet, and it was just being obscured by the mist, and as you approach it, you see Mr. Harker coming out, wiping sleep from his eyes. Going, there you are. I must have fallen asleep after you went to bed. I'm dreadful sorry, ladies.
So, did we go to bed?
You did, not too long after we arrived. We went inside and had some mulled cider, and you all 4 clambered up to bed. I was planning on sitting up the evening in the common room downstairs, but I guess I fell asleep. Why did you leave? Why did you leave your beds?
It's no trouble at all, Mr. Harker. We just thought we would take a morning walk. I'm glad that you were able to sleep in a bit. You worked so hard.
Are you certain you're quite all right?
Of course.
Yes.
I reach over and hold Mabel's hand.
It looks at you with a little bit of
Perhaps-
a suspicious glare.
Perhaps some tea to warm up.
Yes, tea, breakfast.
Yes, I've had them prepare breakfast for you, but I've brought everything to the coach, including your things. I propose we leave. I feel that there's something a bit strange in the air here.
Yes, I do not
Yeah.
disagree. We still have a little ways yet to go.
Girl, please, this way. Come on, there's hot tea and enough food for everyone in the back of the coach. It's dry there also.
Yes, it's a bit wetter this morning than we anticipated.
You make your way back around the inn. The inn is as quiet and as dark and as still as it was last night when you first arrived. You clamber up into the coach, and Mr. Hark helps you out and then points out the little basket where there's food, and you can feel the warmth of the tea and everything that's in there. And the door is closed. He climbs up to the driver's seat, and as a lot of you begin pulling shawls around your shoulders and digging through the basket, I would like for each of you to make me a vigilance roll, please. So you're going to make, you're going to make a logic, I believe, in vigilance roll.
Is this to check if we're being followed?
It's to notice something.
Talent. Okay. I did not get anything.
Thanks, Varl. Varl has bought each of you an advantage, so you have an advantage sitting in your pocket if you need
Thank you.
Thank you.
What did we get? How many successes? All of you with one success. As Mabel is diving headfirst looking for some honey at the bottom of the basket. The rest of you notice, staring at you, from the window of the inn, the curtain pulled back a little bit, you see a strange old woman, in her arms an infant. Her face is old and gnarled and encased in shadows, and she glares at you as the coach departs and keeps staring at you for a good while. I'm going to need all three of you to make me a fear roll. The way you make a fear roll is you choose either logic or empathy. Only that, and roll a number of dice equal to that number.
One success.
I got 2.
All right. Esther, the sight of this old woman staring at you with that baleful eye of hers, her face old and craggy and so deeply drawn into shadow, unsettles you and leaves you feeling a little bit unnerved, and you will take the mental condition frightened. The other two, you feel kind of weird at it, and you don't remember seeing that old woman at all at the end. In fact, you don't remember seeing anyone at the end, but you write it off. Surely if you saw ghost trees and ghost headstones and ghost ravens and this, that, the other, certainly an old lady is the least of your worries.
I also got 0.
Yeah, but you didn't see it because... no, sorry, Mabel. You had 0. Sorry, I thought, Mabel, you didn't need to roll the fear because you didn't see the old lady. Your face was in the thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah. So, Mercy, same thing. You will take the frightened condition. For the record, what the frightened condition does until you can cure it, any roll that you make that's either logic or empathy is done with a 1 die penalty.
Mm-hmm.
You continue traveling for a few hours. You find a good bit of food in the basket, and you manage to fill your stomachs and warm up with the tea. And soon, with the swaying motion of the carriage, you are lulled perhaps to sleep. Some of you might pull out some knitting or perhaps some book that you are working on reading or writing. You find ways to occupy yourselves or pass the time for a few hours as the coach travels on through the New England forest, the mist eventually dissipating, and a little bit of an overcast day forming around you. Eventually, Parker looks back to the four of you as he is driving the coach and says over the sound of the horses galloping, "We're just arriving." And you see the city of Hastings, or the small town of Hastings, open up in front of you. At first glance, Hastings feels like the kind of village that might live only in memory, the kind shaped by wood smoke and candlelight, not clocks or calendar. It's late October in the Hudson Valley, and the season has dressed the town in fire. Maple leaves blaze crimson, oaks glow a deep rusted gold, and even the sycamores wear a bright yellow like fading parchment. The air is cold, but a clean, crisp, the kind that bites your nose without malice. Fire burns in every hearth, and the chimneys dotting the hillside trail smoke into the pale morning sky like ink from a slow-moving quill. Most homes are 2 stories with clapboard, their shutters painted in forest green or black. The air is rich with the scent of late autumn. Something's different. The color hasn't left the trees, but it feels like it has left the town. There is a strange stillness underfoot. The silence of something perhaps watching or waiting, the silence of bated breath and fear. Soon enough, however, you come upon your destination, the Berwyn home. Just off the main road, tucked behind a low picket fence, stands the home of Schoolmaster Berwyn and his wife Elspeth. A tidy little house painted the color of cream with a red door that gleams even under the pale autumn light. Its gray shingle roof slopes gently, dusted now with a scatter of crisp coppery leaves. A narrow brick path winds from the gate to the front steps, half buried in fallen maple and oak leaves. A pair of carved wooden chairs sit on the porch, untouched lately, but their cushions having been brought in for the season. Smoke curls faintly from the chimney, and a stack of chopped wood leans neatly against the side of the house. The coach pulls up in front. You notice through one of the windows a bit of movement. Mr. Harker jumps down from the coach and comes up to the door and opens the door and goes, "Time to wake up. We've arrived. This is the home of Schoolmaster Berwyn, Master Crane's former pupil."
Thank you, Mr. Harker. I suppose we should greet our hosts. Time to wake up, Mercy.
Okay. Are we there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I could use a nap.
You've been napping for a while.
Oh. I mean a nap from such... Anyways.
As you are disembarking from the coach and smoothing out your skirts and putting your bonnets back straight on, the door opens and you see Master Elijah Berwyn, the schoolmaster of the area and Mr. Crane's former pupil, step out and head towards you. You see, remaining in the house, looking at you through the window, his wife Elspeth. You remember Professor Crane mentioning that Elspeth is blind. But she still stands by the window, almost as if she can see you, or almost as if she knows that you are there. And Mr. Berwyn hurriedly comes up the path and goes, please, welcome. We've been expecting you. Allow me to help you with your bags and things. And Harker's kind of bringing down the bags, and he's like, he comes over to you. It's like, such a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm very sorry. I'm not sure who's who, but I'm Elijah Berwyn. Please call me Elijah. And he reaches out to each of you, and I'll shake your hands as you introduce each other and or introduce yourselves rather. And he's like, splendid. Please, my wife Elspeth is inside. We've some bundt cake and some tea prepared for you. I'll help with the bags. And he and Harker pick up the bags, and you walk towards the house. What do you do as you are walking towards this house? The front door is open. What would you like to do?
Do we notice any symbols or witch-like things upon the abode? Like plants or drying plants that have been attached places?
No, there's nothing that you would at all connect to anything having to do with witchery or any of that thing. This house appears to be a very sort of modern small town home. It is nice and it seems very cozy and comfortable, but there's nothing of the sort that you can notice.
Okay, I will ask if Keeper can come inside.
Yes, absolutely, as long as he promises to wipe his paws on the welcome mat.
Oh, okay, I've got that. Also, I promise he's going to be a good boy. And she, gets down and wipes, stops him, picks up his paw and, scrapes it on the mat. and like has him go halfway in and then scrapes his back paws on the mat as well.
As you do that, Elspeth comes walking up to the door. You can tell that she's guiding herself a little bit with her hand along the wall, but you can tell that, one, she's very used to walking around the house, and the house has been very much sort of the ways have been cleared for her. There's not a lot of clutter, there's not a lot of furniture, everything is spacious and apparently very comfortable for her as she moves around the room, and eventually, almost by some sort of strange supernatural sense, almost it seems, arrives right up to she arrives to, let's say, Esther, and she comes up and puts her hand out and reaches for yours and goes, "I'm Elspeth, it's so nice to meet you," and she holds your hand and is waiting for you to introduce yourself.
Yes, it is a pleasure to meet you, Elspeth. Thank you for inviting myself and my sisters into your home. I am Esther.
Ah, the eldest.
Indeed.
We're the ones who are thankful for you coming here. When Elijah said he would write to his former headmaster, I thought it would perhaps be an imposition on him, but he assured me that Professor Crane would be more than happy to make the trip. When we heard that he was unwell, I was very saddened to hear that. How is Professor Crane?
He is as well as he can be. The weather is giving him a bit of a chill in his bones at his age, but he is well, still very full of wit and very spry when it comes to banter, so to speak. Very much still has his wits about him, but such a long journey would have been a bit too much physically, we think. So my sisters and I are happy to have come here in his stead.
Well, we're very grateful and very honored to have you here, and she will turn to each of you and you will all introduce again yourselves to her as Elijah and Mr. Harker are bringing in your things. Elspeth will turn towards her husband and say, you know where to put them. Put Esther and Mercy together in the top room, and perhaps Martha and Mabel won't mind sharing the room here on the first floor. And he's like, "Yes, absolutely, my dear, right away." And they go and they take care of that, and Elspeth's like, "Please, come along. We've prepared some cake and some tea and a few other little goodies for you over here." And she motions for you all to go into the drawing room.
Thank you very much. You have a lovely house.
Well, thank you so much. It's very kind of you to say that. I must admit that most of it is Elijah's doing, obviously. He's the one who makes a lot of the choices, but he's very good at describing things, I find. And I get a very good image of exactly what it is that is in every room. I'm certain that if I were to draw it somehow, it would turn out quite different than it actually is. But it pleases me to think that. I know what the house looks like. Please have a seat, and she will set about with only a minimal amount of difficulty to set up the bundt cake and some stuff. She will ask that you pour the tea and that you cut yourself pieces of the bundt cake, and whilst that is happening, Keeper will find a warm spot to lay down in front of the hearth and sort of bask in the glory of the little fireplace. And eventually Mr. Harker and Mr. Elijah will come down, and you'll have tea and cake with them, and they're very polite, they're very kind, they're very nice, and they'll sort of just talk a little bit about the area and how quaint and nice it is, and how school has already started, of course, and the students are as they ever were, seemingly more and more distracted every year, but Elijah seems to be a very kind sort, and he reminds you a lot of Ichabod in many ways, a lot of his mannerism and some of his ideas on teaching and things like that. Eventually, as you discuss, things will turn to the matters at hand. Now, is there anything that you would like to ask or do before things turn to those matter? You are welcome to ask any questions or to go somewhere if you want. Just let me know what you would like to do during this 20 minutes or so of polite discussion before getting down to the nitty-gritty of it.
I would like to probe very cautiously, because it was said that there seems to be something unnatural about what's going on. I want to know how much they believe in the supernatural, so therefore I'm trying to be sneaky about, oh, well, what could it be? What possible things could be happening?
Let's have you do a little roll to see exactly how good you are at drawing that. I will ask you to make an empathy and manipulation roll. Remember that you are at -1 dice because of your frightened condition.
I shall use an advantage.
Oh.
Because I'm not very good at manipulating. I am baby. I usually just get what I want. Oh god, no. No successes. Well, 6 dice, come on. I got a lot of 5s.
None whatsoever. So here's an interesting aspect of this game. One of the main mechanics of this game is the push mechanic. Push mechanic allows you, when you fail a roll, to decide that you wish to push the roll and to try it again. This means that your character exerts themselves. You're allowed to roll any dice that was not a success and that was not a 1. And you can re-roll them. The only difference is that if you do so, whilst you get another chance at success, you do take a condition. So would you like to push the roll?
Well, as my Mark has taught me, nothing is without sacrifice. So yeah, I will push this roll.
Go for it.
Don't fuck me up. That's way better. That's 2 successes.
Excellent. So you will have to choose another mental condition, since this was a mental roll, to add. And again, for your own knowledge, there are several ways to cure conditions. So in the case of mental conditions, somebody else can use inspiration on you in a scene that takes a moment to talk to you and kind of bring you out of the funk, and then they can make a roll and heal some conditions. You can also rest. If you spend a moment, a scene, resting and not doing anything much in the presence of somebody else, you can heal some of them. You can also, if you wish, interact with your memento. If you wish to do that, you can do that once per session. And if you wish to interact with your memento, I will ask you some questions about it, and then you can heal a mental condition. So if ever you wish to start taking care of some of these conditions that you have, just let me know what you wish to do.
Okie dokie. Oh, I see. I'm going to pick hopeless, because I think it would be a lot for Mercy to be angry.
Yeah, you're having a bit of difficulty at first getting them to say anything, and you kind of become hopeless that you'll be able to draw anything from them, but then you kind of continue pushing a little bit and find the correct things to say. I think that overall what you will find is that Elijah is a very logical mind, and at first really is, I don't believe in anything weird or supernatural, everything has a logical explanation, and so on and so forth. But with your careful probing, you do recognize that he is somewhat rattled, and what Ichabod told you, that Elijah would not have written that letter unless he really felt there was something to it. And you kind of get that sense there, and you get the sense of someone who's in conflict a little bit, who's been trying to convince himself that there's nothing wrong and that everything's got a logical explanation, but he's kind of falling short and not being able to do that. In the case of Elspeth, you will find that she appears to be a little bit more open to it, but only because she is very religious. So she is not open to spirits or ghosts or anything like that, but you can tell that because of her religious upbringing and her religious beliefs that, you know, the work of the devil would be something that she would believe is very possible. Whereas Elijah is, you know, a surface Christian, like he probably attends church and believes in God, but he's not like a devout. Well, Elspeth is much more devout, and if you were to say, do you think this is the work of the devil, she'd be like, well, of course it is. Who else would it be? Kind of thing. Whereas you would say like, well, I wouldn't go so far as to want to put a name on it right away. There are still other avenues to explore, but that kind of approach sort of thing.
Okay.
Anything else anyone would like to do or attempt, or?
I think Mabel, most of her conversation is around like, Elijah teaches kids. So like, how often is he out of the house, and like what kind of like foods do they like to prepare, and just kind of as Mercy is like prodding them, trying to like every now and then kind of like loosen their condition a little bit, kind of get them willing to talk to us a little more upfront. So I'm kind of trying to soothe them by just like talking about day-to-day things. Like, who's their favorite kid, and what kind of food do you like, and apple pie, and...
So in that, I will say that they're very forthcoming, and they speak very easily. He's at school 5 or 6 days a week, and she teaches Sunday school, so there's always something going on. Sunday school is here, so the kids come here. You'll say that they have about, maybe 15 kids of different ages in the school, that kind of thing. You will find out that they met while Elijah was studying, and that she was the daughter of the rector of the school, and that's how they originally met. And they're very kind of forthcoming people. But same thing, you can kind of tell that there's definitely something that's kind of lurking behind. He seems bothered. She is more of a, certainly it's the work of the devil, but God will protect us kind of approach to it, sort of thing. Anything else anyone want to do?
As I'm observing sort of these conversations, can I use my ability Eagle Eye? I gain a +2 to vigilance when trying to interpret a situation I'm not involved in, to see if I can determine sort of a line of questioning that might lead us to a specific clue or path that would be helpful to us.
I will say you don't even really need to roll for that, because they're very willing to talk about the situation. What I will say is hold on that roll, and after you've started receiving information, you can then make that roll to kind of ascertain if there's something more to glean, or to, that kind of thing, perhaps more than trying to get them to, because they're very willing to talk about it. In fact, you can tell that it's really just the fact that they're such polite people and very observant of what is proper, that they didn't assault you with it the second you came in through the door,
Right. Okay.
We must eat of the bundt cake first.
Yes, we must eat of the bundt cake first. I think there's definitely like, I'm sure at some point Esther asks the question of, how did it come to be that you were brought into this issue, if this took place at the hospital?
Well, one of the doctors at the hospital, in fact, the doctor who was of service the night that the events occurred, is a friend of mine. We went to school together, and, well, you can't imagine, as soon as this happened, he needed someone that he trusted to speak to, and he came and he spoke to me about it. And at length, once I realized that he wasn't just delusional or having some sort of episode, I told him about my old schoolmaster, Mr. Crane, and some of his adventures up in Sleepy Hollow. And I said that I could, perhaps if he wanted, write to Professor Crane and see if he would be amenable to come in and visiting, to take a look at the situation for us. And Dr. Hawthorne was very appreciative of that. And, well, that's how we ended up being here. And that's also, I trust Dr. Hawthorne implicitly. We've been friends for a very long time. And he is also a very sound, rational man. And I certainly do not expect that he would invent any of these stories. So I was myself convinced, and so I thought that it would be pertinent to reach out to Professor Crane.
I see. Will we be able to speak with this Dr. Hawthorne?
Oh, absolutely. I'm certain he will be more than happy to speak with you and tell you the story from his point of view. And Elspeth, reaches out and places a hand on her husband's hand. She's like, why don't you start at the beginning? Tell them what happened, dear. He's like, well, yes, I guess starting at the beginning would be a good place to begin. You see, the first thing that happened was in the middle of the night, there was a patient, a man named Jacob Pleasant. Jacob is a poor fellow with a terrible affliction. He has a strange illness that makes his hands grow overlarge, and they always hurt, he says, as if someone is constantly crushing them. He also has a bad ringing in his ears that began after an accident he had as a child. He can't work because of his hands, and the pain and the ringing drove him to drinking, and, well, he's tried several times, and this is no secret that I'm revealing, something everyone in the city knows, in the town knows. He's tried several times to take his own life. He just attempted again and was under sedation at the hospital and under watch when he appears to have just gotten up and abducted Sister Hatch, who was watching over him. It was at that moment that my friend Dr. Hawthorne and the other nurse of service that night, Nurse Pritchard, began noticing the patients in the main room wailing, moaning, making strange sounds. They began crawling on the floor towards each other, and as they did, they formed, I guess, at the center of the floor, this strange image. Dr. Hawthorne said it looked nothing so much as an eye, with all their heads together, the center of the pupil would be, and their bodies all curved in the same way, as if radiating out of the pupil. They then began to vomit and expectorate this dark ichor that spread throughout and drew out the outline of this eye on the floor. Most of the patients, well, most of them survived, but have not been doing well at all. A few of them passed, choking on their own excretions.
I presume autopsies have been done on the bodies?
I believe they have started that work, but the local Constable Rawson, had ordered for them to wait until someone could come in from New York. He thought perhaps that this might require someone of a higher rank, and there was a bit of a dispute with Dr. Bisha, the head of the hospital, about this matter, and I'm not 100% sure exactly how this was settled. I do know that Constable Rawson did search Jacob Pleasant's home. He said he found nothing, but word is that he ordered the farmhouse sealed immediately after and seemed shaken by something he had seen in there.
I see. My sister Martha has picked up quite a bit of knowledge from Professor Crane when it comes to the ailments and possible diseases and what can happen to a body. Perhaps she might join that effort to discover the true nature of these deaths, if there is anything strange or untoward. What do you think, Martha?
I think just in the background, previous to the conversation starting, poor Esther has had to witness Martha technically keeping her promise about not being too weird, but also just maybe a little bit dirty, rotten scoundrel style, trying to see how blind Elspeth is, to what degree, and in particular, like how her hearing compares now that she's lost a sense. So it's just like, putting down a teacup a little too hard, maybe initially stepping just a little too close. So like that's been going on in the background before kind Esther has.
Yes, I'm trying to redirect.
So let's have you, Martha. Let's have you make a empathy and observation roll.
Okay. Well, what's that? Yeah, we'll just go for it. I got 2.
Two successes. This would be a good moment for Esther to use your observation power to see if you notice that Martha is doing all of this.
My God.
So
Yeah.
logic and vigilance, and then you can add 2 dice for your eagle eye.
Yeah. All right. So I start with 4, but take 1 away because I'm ill.
You're feeling a little out of sorts.
2 and 2, just a bit. Okay, that is 2 successes as well.
Okay. So, Alex. It's really weird because after your various little dirty rotten scoundrel style shenanigans, you are convinced that she is truly and very well blind. Also that her hearing is in fact much better. But there's often these moments when you'll do something and she won't react, and you're like, okay, she really is blind. And then a moment later, she'll look at you and smile very innocently, like, as part of the conversation. And then, kind of, so you're convinced she's blind, but you're not convinced she can't see, if that makes any sense.
Right. I hear you. Especially compared to what you described of knowing the house. Was that muscle memory, or is there maybe something?
Exactly. But there's something a bit strange there. Hey, Rara, thank you for coming in. Meanwhile, Esther, you absolutely notice that Martha is pulling these shenanigans on Elspeth. And she's being pretty subtle about it, but to your trained eagle eye, she might as well be holding up, a giant canvas sign that says, hey, you're sitting there cringing.
Yes, which is part of the reason why I am redirecting my dear sister's attention away from our lovely hostess towards something that she'll be able to do, a task. If we go to the hospital to speak with this Dr. Hawthorne, as you say, I'm sure my sister would be interested in sharing her own expertise with.
Well, I would certainly suggest you bring it up with Dr. Hawthorne. I think if anyone can sort of liaise between you and Dr. Bisha, that might be the way to go about it. I don't see why they would refuse any help, but would certainly bring it up with Dr. Hawthorne.
Yes, of course.
I'm going to reach over and just lightly pat Esther's hand. I think that's quite the wise idea. Thank you for the suggestion.
But do you speak French? Do you happen to speak French?
Esther just smiles. Do we speak French?
There's no real reason for you to speak French.
No, I don't believe any of us speak French.
The doctor who is head of the St. Elizabeth's Hospital is Dr. Marie-Xavier Bichat. He is a Frenchman. I thought perhaps if you could speak in his own language with him, he might find a bit more commonality with you. But alas.
I'm sure there are other things that we can find to connect with this doctor.
And as you say that, Elspeth says, the hospital has also always been rumored to be haunted. It was once a military hospital, and many men died there and suffered there, but to be honest, nothing untoward ever really was reported about anything of the sort happening there.
Well, spirits are just lost souls that need to find their way to the Lord, looks at Esther.
Esther just nods, but I think glances at Mabel, almost with a bit of a, very subtle, are you going to be fine? Like,
I fully think that like halfway through Martha's tomfoolery, Mabel just kind of like clocked out of the conversation and was just watching very intently, and every now and then was kind of like imitating. She's being way more like, just not as often, but like, you know, drinks the tea, puts it down a little. And then Mercy says that, and she looks at Esther, and Esther, you just see just like wide-eyed, like, oh, I'm supposed to be normal. It's supposed to be normal. Be normal.
This is normal time.
This is normal time.
This reminds me, says Elspeth, we do have some of the things from Mr. Thorpe, the book he was writing, the historical records and whatnot. I think we still have some. You see, this house belongs to whoever is schoolmaster of the village. And before us, it was Mr. Thorpe who was here. And he had quite an interest in the hospital and the local area. She gets up and she extends a hand to Hester and Martha and says, perhaps you two would be so kind as to accompany me downstairs so I can find these books for you, and perhaps you might find something of interest in there.
yes, of course, Martha.
Dear, will you continue to entertain our guests while I go and fetch these books? Are you certain you don't want me to go, honey? No, I'll be quite fine with these two fine young ladies. Please, ladies, come along. And as you head downstairs, we'll come back to the other two in a moment. You head downstairs. You realize that it's very dark down here, but she obviously doesn't need the light. She comes down and she says, Mr. Thorpe had plans, I believe, to write a definitive history of the hospital, the fort, and the area. Upon his retirement. Unfortunately, he passed away before he managed to retire. All the boxes with some of the things that he left behind are still in my weaving room. As I don't need light, it made sense to occupy that space, of course. She'll guide you down very unerringly. The two of you kind of stumble a little bit, and at some point, a match will flare to life, and you will see that she's kind of stopped in front of a lantern, and she'll put the match in and light it up, and she'll be like, if one of you wants to take the light.
Yes, of course.
You follow her along. The place is very dark, very quiet down here. You eventually walk into a second room, and you can see a loom there, and there is a chair in front of it, and there are piles of boxes, but also rolled up tapestries and blankets and things like that she has made. She approaches the loom and she says, I'm very lucky that I learned how to weave before I lost my sight, and somehow I managed to still be able to translate what I see in my mind into these things that I make. I can't do it with other things. I can't do it with pencil or paint or any of those things. I can only do it through the loom. Here's the piece that I've been working on, actually. Would you like to bring the light a little closer? A little tapestry that I've been working. It's a small cottage I seem to remember from memory. And as you look upon it, both of you are shocked to see your mother's cabin. Martha, you will notice Esther as she takes a breath in and then stands there swaying, but Esther.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. It's impossible, but it's right there in front of your eyes. Your mother's cabin. Winnie's cabin. Where you grew up. Your mother's little yet cozy cabin in the New Hampshire woods. Your home. You remember it so well, the smell of pines, the chestnut tree, the old rocking chair on the porch where your mother spent many an evening writing in her books, the old swing out back that needed repairs every year. You remember the smell of your mother's kitchen. Always alive with so many different herbs and spices, and the fire in the chimney, and the sweet maple smoke, the incense, the smell of the wool blanket on the bed that you shared with your sisters, the smell of your mother's hair. And this. You shouldn't remember this. You were too young. Not quite 3 yet, but you can see it clearly. You're on the floor of your home. Your 2 sisters, Mabel and Martha, barely 2 years old, resting together in their crib. Mabel, silent as the grave. Martha, a chatterbox as always, talking to people only she can see. Your mother, Winnie, mending some clothes by the fireplace, when a knock comes to the door. Somehow, you know his name. Short and slim, handsome, with his dark hair and smooth face, his heavy brow and dark eyes. His name is Father David Hallam. Father, your mother says, and she kneels and kisses his hand. My dear Winnie, please rise. She does, and they embrace. It's mighty cold outside. How are you and the little treasures? He asks. Good, she says, smiling. The twins have little teeth now, and they bite. Godfrey girls always have a lot of bite, he says as he smiles down upon you, runs a hand over your little head, placing your bonnet correctly. How I miss them. You could come see them more often, Father. He stands, looks at her, pulls her close. Time flies by too swiftly. I have so much to do in these parts, constantly. Hardly a moment to rest. Well, you can rest tonight, she says, breathless. I intend to. Will the girls be all right? This is the safest place in the world, Father. From your lips to God's ears, he says. And smile, they smile and kiss. They disappear behind the curtain that separates the main room from the sleeping room. You lay on the floor, looking up through the window at the flurry of snow coming down. And by October, Mercy is with you. Martha. You see Esther, eyes rolled back. You notice that she has grabbed a piece of thread from the blanket that is being woven. She has been winding it around her hand. It's cutting into her flesh. You can see blood start to drip out of her hand, start to be absorbed in the thread. I need you to make, Martha, an empathy check for me.
Okie dokie. I would like to use an advantage on that.
Go for it.
One success.
Good. You are not frightened. You can react. Esther, you will have the wounded condition when you come to, as this string has cut all the way in your hand into the flesh of your hand, all the way around it. What do you do, Martha?
I am, again, looking at how tightly wound it is, and I don't want to fight the struggle of hand, like pulling it away. I assume there's going to be shears or some kind of sharp object to cut the thread, the fabric itself. So I'm just going to try to find those and cut it to just pull her away from the tapestry to begin with.
You would find something easily enough in this room to cut thread, since Elspeth would have to cut thread often. You find it, you grab it, you pull her hand, you cut the thread. She goes limp. Give me a physique roll.
So, I was going to say, I think at this point, too, having taken care of at least Mabel enough times, it's almost very identical, and just that gentleness, and muttered, hey, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, and I roll my 2 physique. I still got a success! We got one in there. Hey!
You managed to catch her and break her fall more than actually catch her, but you fall to your knees and she kind of falls down on top of you, and you manage to absorb most of the shock. And Elspeth is like, are you okay? What's going on? What's happening? Should I get someone?
No, I think we have it. As I'm going to try to take her hand and start unraveling the thread. And just, Esther, come back to us. It's okay. We're here.
Give me a precision and medicine roll.
Oh, wow. We got this. I shouldn't jinx it, but we're rolling 8 dice, right? One.
As you begin to unwind the thread, which is soaked in blood, upstairs, Mercy and Mabel, the 2 men, have begun talking, quickly veering away from the subject at hand and into other discussions that are of not much importance to you. The 2 of you are sitting there, not hearing anything from downstairs. What do you do?
I think that Mabel almost goes into muscle memory mode. Like, the conversation has steered away from anything of interest to her, and she just starts fussing. She starts cleaning up teacups and kind of gathering dirty plates and spoons, and asks everybody, oh, would anyone else, I can put another pot of hot water on for tea.
What about you, Mercy? What are you up to?
I think Mercy is going to maybe help Mabel, picking up some stuff and going into the kitchen, and as we're placing them in the sink, be like, so what do you think? Possession? Obsession? Some sort of creature?
I don't know, something about the story doesn't quite make a lot of sense. I feel like we have to talk to somebody who was there. Maybe that right. Dr. Hawthorne.
The eyeball situation was strange. You know,
yeah.
The eyeballs, the eyes are the windows to the soul.
True. And I don't know, it just eerily reminds me of the pigeon yesterday.
Yes, with the eyes cut out.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird, again, there's something weird. I feel like we're missing something important.
Yes, we should go to the horse's mouth to find out about the pigeon's eyes.
As you are talking about this, you move into the kitchen. Martha, give me a fear check, either logic or empathy, whichever one you choose.
Okie dokie. I will go with logic.
You have a condition, so do you have a condition? No, you don't, right?
No, I do not.
Good.
Sure. No success.
You nearly... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean Martha. I meant Mabel. I'm sorry.
You messed up the
I was wondering, but hey, here we
Martha,
are.
Mabel.
That's me.
Everybody gets them wrong. Don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah, Mabel, give me a fear check. Either empathy or logic.
Okay, I'll do empathy. No successes.
You jump out of your skin as you walk into the kitchen and see a man standing there. He is older, has this red coat on, looks very proper. The cup in your hand tumbles, falls to the ground and shatters as you jump and scream as he's standing there in the middle of the kitchen looking at you, eyes wide, his throat bleeding from where it has been cut. Mercy, you're talking, walking in the kitchen, talking. All of a sudden, you see Mabel jump, drop the cup that she's holding. It shatters on the ground, and she's staring at something in the kitchen. You look, and you don't see anything.
I think Mabel instinctively, she's used to Martha being there, so she instinctively, grabs for your hand.
I shall take it. I think Mercy quickly goes, "Oh, sorry, there was a spider. We'll clean it up." What is it? What do you see?
And she's kind of her fingernails are starting. She's holding your hand so tightly that she's almost hurting you. There's a man. Can you see him?
Yeah, yes, a man in the kitchen. What does he want? This man in the kitchen.
I don't know. Can you ask him?
Sure. Man in the kitchen. What do you want?
The man still stares at you, Mabel. Like this, blood pouring freely from where his throat has been cut. Making no sound.
Okay. And you can see this? You can...
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be included.
Okay. I need Martha right now.
That I can do. I do need my hand back, though.
And she just, you probably have to, pry the fingers very slowly.
I'll be
she
right
does
back.
let go, but she doesn't step further into the kitchen or away, out of the kitchen. She's just kind of
Mercy,
picks up her skirt and walks back in the other. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna get a dustpan from downstairs. Martha.
As you turn to go, Mabel, the man in the kitchen that's staring at you, brings his hand out from around behind him, and you see in his hand he is holding this black crescent-bladed knife with a number of strange occult markings on it. It is dripping with blood, and he raises it, and he starts to walk towards you.
I think that's when the blood shrieking scream comes out of her. I think that's when she absolutely loses it.
Downstairs.
But she's rooted in the spot, so she's just screeching.
Downstairs, meanwhile. Esther, your eyes are fluttering open. Martha, you've managed to quickly pull the string out from around her hand. The last few bits of it were embedded so deeply in the flesh that you could see bone underneath, and you pulled it out very carefully and with Elspeth's help, and she brought you some linens and some water. You've managed to clean it and give her a little bit of a bandage around the hand and stop the bleeding. Your hand hurts so much, Esther. It's you feel like you have this tight, it's almost as if you have a tight metal band that's just cutting into your hand and tightening.
Why'd you go and do something silly like that?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you. I'm sorry, Elspeth, for any trouble. I must have hurt myself. I'm so sorry.
I'm not super eager to let you go either. Like, you're not like in a death grip or anything, but definitely trying to keep you close and center.
Thank you, Martha, for taking care of me. We should go back upstairs. We should go back upstairs.
Have we heard the scream at this point?
Jump, Martha!
You have not yet, no.
Okay.
Martha, your sister requires you upstairs for a moment. Just a quick little thing. Everything's fine.
You don't hear that. You're not there, Mercy.
Shit.
We hear nothing.
Nothing. I'm gonna try to like help you up, right? Not like you injured your ankle or anything, but just like try to shake it all around. So worried that you might be fragile.
Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry. This is something that's happened before.
No, it is not. I'm sure it's nothing. I lose track of myself sometimes. It's really no trouble. I'm sorry for any distress we may have caused you.
Oh, no, please, absolutely not. I'm so sorry. Perhaps we should get back upstairs. Now, she says that you hear upstairs cup shattering, and then you hear Mercy's voice saying, "Oh, it was just a spider. We're cleaning it up. No worries."
Yes, we should definitely head back upstairs. We can look for the books and the documentation that you mentioned.
They would be right over here. There should be a leather satchel in that corner. And she points towards the corner, and you can definitely see like an old like schoolmaster's leather satchel.
Martha, do you want to?
I got it.
You pick it up. You grab the lantern, which has extinguished when it dropped to the floor, but you light it back up. You find a satchel, and then you start heading back towards upstairs. Is there anything else you want to do before you get up there, or?
I'm in a lot of pain, but can I like just take a little peek-see around and see if there's anything that just happens to catch my eye?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Can I use Eagle Eye for this again?
I know, because you're very much involved in this
I'm
situation.
very much involved now. Yeah, I thought so.
You're at -2 dice because you have wounded and you have...
I'm wounded, puts a minus to my physique and precision. Frightened gives me a minus to logic and empathy.
Absolutely. Sorry, you're totally right.
So, you can't debuff me that much, Bleak.
Just the GM, God forbid I know the rules.
Okay, so that's 4. Would you say this is logic vigilance or empathy observation?
Definitely logic vigilance, because empathy observation would be like picking up like social cues or
Cool.
Stuff like that.
Great. So that's 5 dice. 3 dice. That's 1 success.
You hear Mercy's voice talking to someone, but it's kind of indistinct.
Okay. Martha, Mercy's talking to someone.
You don't hear anything.
New? She talks often.
No, but I hear her. I don't know. It's not the same. We should just head back up.
I just give you like a little squint. There's a clocked. Got it.
It's not the same. It's different.
You start going upstairs. Meanwhile, Mercy, you've run downstairs. You are calling out for Martha and Esther. You run downstairs. You see a large, very dark kind of area, and as soon as you hit the ground and kind of look around, you realize you're lost. You don't know. You can't see anything. You can't see a doorway. You can't see another room. You can't see anything. You're just kind of in this big, wide open, completely dark space.
The basements in Hastings are insane. Martha! Esther? I'm gonna start moving into the darkness and like holding my hands out.
As you do so, you hear from behind you, Sweet Mercy, they're not here.
What do you mean they're not here? They went down into the basement, right?
That's not where we are right now.
What?
Out of the corner of your eye, you see a shape moving. You see what appears to perhaps be a man sitting down in a chair. You can barely make out his outline in the dark. These...
Daddy, is that you?
Of course it is, Sweet Mercy. I'm sorry if I scared you.
A little bit. Where are we?
These are good people. The Berwins. They're very good people, but they're in danger. You need to do exactly as I say. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, of course.
You need to find a needle, and you need to prick your finger. You need to wash the medallion that you found in the tree in your blood, and then you need to whisper the following words. Stella matutina, protegge domum, nema. Once you have done this...
One more time with the words, Dad.
Stella matutina, protegge domum, noma. It means morning star. Protect this home.
Okay.
After, you need to find a place well hidden that no one will see it. You need to use your blood, and you need to draw a 5-pointed star 1 point down and repeat the words. This will keep them safe for a little while.
What's after them?
There's something at the hospital, but there's also something in the forest. The two are not necessarily connected, but both are a threat. You must discover the secret of the hospital. And in doing so, you may discover the secret of the forest. But, Sweet Mercy, remember, while you and your sisters are in danger, I care for you very much, and I watch over you, and I trust you, Mercy, above all, to keep your sisters protected.
Okay. I can do that. I can do that.
As you say that, you notice that you can see the outline of the stairs. You hear people talking upstairs.
I start moving towards the stairs again with my hands out, and before I leave the space, I turn around and go, "Bye, Daddy."
Bye, Sweet Mercy.
I make my way to the stairs.
Upstairs, Mabel. The man approaches you. You go to scream, and he goes, he reaches out slowly, and he takes your hand. and gently he places the knife in it. The handle is carved out of wood. You can see on the handle and on the blade several occult symbols. The blood is dripping off of this crescent-shaped blade onto the ground. As you hold it, you feel something strange. It's not anything you've ever felt before. It's not an energy that you've ever felt before, but it feels dark and ancient and wrong. The figure moves away from you and returns to the corner where he was and stares at you, still bleeding from the neck.
She looks down at the blade in her hands. Feels very real, very heavy, very solid. She looks back up at the man in the corner.
Martha, Esther, you arrive in the kitchen to find Mabel standing there, staring into the corner of a kitchen, not moving. She is holding up her hand like this.
Mabel?
Can you see him?
Esther's gonna look at Martha.
Not knowing why your hand's out, I'm gonna step beside you and try to like lower your hand and look in the direction.
You indeed see this man standing there, older gentleman with a nice powdered wig. He's got a long schoolmaster's red coat and a beautiful vest underneath it. And he stands there, his eyes wide, his mouth open, blood dripping from his neck. Esther, of course, you see him.
As gently as I can, I'm gonna try to turn Mabel, like, not, I don't want to like bury you into my shoulder, right? But like just turn you away from seeing that any more damage than I could already do.
Can you ask him what he wants?
No hesitation following up. Can we help you?
Go ahead and make me a magic roll.
Whee!
We love those.
No go. No success.
You ask him, his mouth moves. But no sound comes from it.
I don't think he heard you, maybe?
Do we get another shot?
You can push.
I will push.
You can push, you will take a mental condition after you push.
Okay. Sounds good. Got 2.
Excellent. What do you say again?
More firmly this time. Can we help you?
No. But you can help yourself. Please. And with that, you see him slowly turn into ash and float off.
I think Mabel instinctively just is like repeating what he's saying to you in your ear, but it's very soft.
You can see in Mabel's hand now this knife.
He gave me something. Can you see it too?
I look at Esther.
Esther cannot.
Okay. I can.
I don't understand. It feels wrong. And she tries to put it in your hands, like instinctively trying to get rid of it.
You can take it from her. You have that same feeling when you take it. Esther, they're miming, giving each other something, and
Mabel, sweetheart, where's Mercy?
where is Mercy? Where is Mercy?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was stuck in limbo. I'm coming back up the stairs.
You come up the stairs, you hear them talking in the kitchen.
Like walking past the living room, I couldn't find the broom.
Oh, never mind, I found her.
Hi.
Mercy, where did you go?
You know, it's hard to say. Does anyone have a needle?
Check my bag. I'm sure I have a needle in there.
Okay.
It's the medical bag, so it's going to be
You find long needles.
Oh my god. Okay. I am going to go look for the broom upstairs.
Oh, okay. Come down quickly.
I shall.
Mabel, are you all right?
Is he gone? He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. You're okay.
Don't like when they talk to me. But this one couldn't talk, and somehow that was worse. Like,
What did he look like?
He's tall. He kind of looked like Elijah. You know, the job, older, like
Like a headmaster.
Cool, yeah. Long coat.
Esther's gonna look at Martha. We never did ask how the old schoolmaster died.
Didn't see relevant until the moment.
No, didn't. Do you need to sit down, Mabel? Do you need water?
I'm gonna make a pie.
Okay. That sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna try to smooth things over with Elijah and Elspeth and Mr. Harker. Martha, can you watch over her?
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Mabel immediately, we're in the kitchen, just starts like, takes the flour out onto the counter, like, yeah, just immediately eggs cracking. And she's still like very shaken, but like has to do something or she will just continue to be a wreck.
As the cooking is going on and the smoothing over is about to begin, upstairs, Mercy, you climb up to the second floor. You find a short corridor, leads to a couple of closed rooms. You have your big needle in your hand. You can hear downstairs some commotion as people are starting to, talk to each other and whatnot. What do you do?
I am going to go into one of the room that I'm going to be staying in. And I'm going to find a spot, perhaps behind maybe under one of the dresser drawers to draw this. And and I'm going to be laying down on my back with my medallion in hand, and I'm going to take the giant needle, swoon for a moment, and prick my finger on it. Daggers, fine. Needles, not okay. But she's gonna drop her blood on the medallion, and I'm going to whisper the words. Do I have to do it? I'm gonna mess it up. I can't even
you
speak
don't have
French.
To do it. It's fine. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to do that, and then whisper the words. Go ahead and make a magic roll.
Oh, no.
You do have some advantages.
You do.
I do. And I can... Okay, so I have -2. I'm going to use my magic and then... Empathy or logic, or is it empathy?
No, it's just magic.
Oh, just magic. Okay,
Yeah.
so that doesn't matter. I am going to use one advantage for this. And I have 1 success on that.
Excellent. So you repeat the words correctly. You do everything in the right order. You smear blood on the medallion, and then with that blood, you draw the pentagram in a hidden spot. You feel some of your energy kind of get sucked into the medallion through your blood. You actively feel that kind of drawing upon you, and when you draw the symbol then on the house, you feel that energy go into that symbol, and for a moment it shines very darkly, and then you hear faintly whispered from one of the dark corners of the room, "That's my girl."
Thanks, Daddy. Okay. I'm gonna close the drawer, put the medallion back in my pocket, and then head downstairs, sucking on her finger.
Esther, you walk out of the room, leaving the two twins behind to bake pies. What do you do?
I approach Elijah, Elspeth, and Mr. Harker.
Yeah, you
and
see that Elspeth has been...
What state are they in?
Okay, so Elspeth has been telling him what happened downstairs. You see that they're both very concerned, and Harker was kind of on his way towards where you are. And when he sees you, he comes over and he takes your hand and sees it and goes, "Dear God, Miss Godfrey, are you all right? What happened?"
I'm all right. It's really nothing. I have these dizzy spells sometimes. I must have fallen and caught in my hand on the thread of the embroidery that your wife was showing us. It's really nothing.
Oh, sorry, that was Mr. Harker you were talking to, but
Mr.
no, but
Harker.
it's fine. We're not gonna recall any of it. They're both there. So he says, "I'm dreadfully sorry. Perhaps is there too much sugar in the tea, or perhaps the bundt cake?"
I doubt it was anything related to that, but I just wanted to assure you all that I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's the first time that my sisters have been away from home for so long. They're still getting used to what it's like to not have the professor around. You understand, it's a big change, but we're still eager to assist you.
Elspeth says, "Is someone cooking?" And then she walks past you and goes into the kitchen.
Yes, Babel is making pies. It's
Pie?
going. Yes, it'll help. It'll help her calm down a bit. Homesick, you understand. We often have pie with the professor.
Well, let me get a bit more wood for the stove then. I'll be right back. And he leaves you alone with Harker, and Harker gives you an arched eyebrow like, "Is everything okay?"
Everything will be fine, Mr. Harker.
I'm getting a little concerned. It seems that strange things are happening, and, well, Mr. Crane was very adamant that I make sure that you and your sister are safe. Would I be worried, Esther?
You have done a wonderful job keeping us safe thus far.
You're very kind to say so, even though it's not true. Yeah, you are bleeding all over the house of the person who has invited us into their homes.
Yes, I'm trying to avoid doing so. Thank you for mentioning it. It's there is cause for concern here, but I don't know what it is yet. I don't want to worry you or send you in the wrong direction when I really have no answers.
Oh, it's too late for that. And then he looks up over your shoulder and goes, "Dear God, are you bleeding also, Mercy?" Do you see Mercy coming down the stairs with like a little bit of 2 spots of blood?
Just that was from Esther, and I was just going to get a rag to clean it up.
Parker leans into you, Esther, and goes, "Is she aware of how terrible a liar she is?"
I'm working on it.
Well, perhaps we should gather everyone after we've baked and head to the hospital. I believe that's where we might find some of our answers.
Yes, for more reasons than one.
Yes,
I love my sister. I love my sister. I'm not letting her stitch me up again.
Stitching up a live person is not quite the same, is it?
No, not quite. I'm sure she'll be better when she gets more practice.
You think you can convince them to hold off on the baking until perhaps later?
You know how Mabel is when she gets into it, and nothing can pull her away from the dough. Although, we might be able to convince her to leave if the dough is proofing.
I'll leave that up to you, but I would certainly like to travel to the hospital and back while there's still daylight.
Mabel will always put us first. I'm sure there's a way that I can find to convince her to go to the hospital with us.
Very well, I'll leave it up to you to round up the sisters. I will go and get the coach ready. If there's anything, please, don't hesitate to yell.
Of course, Mr. Harker.
And you'll turn around and head outside, and you and Mercy are standing there in the kitchen. You hear, "Do you have any eggs?" What do you do?
That went well. What happened to you?
I should be asking you the same.
It was for protection.
Did Father put you up to something?
Oh, yes. He's very concerned about us. He said that there's something in the hospital and something in the woods. And if we find the thing in the hospital, it might lead us to the thing in the woods.
How helpful. Well, we could use all the protection we can get right now. There is certainly something strange in this house.
Yes, what did Mabel see? A man?
The old headmaster, I think.
Oh.
Must have died from less than natural causes based on her reaction. I don't think asking her about it at the moment is the best idea. She seems very rattled. But I'm sure once she's had a chance to calm down, we can ask. Are you sure that you're all right?
I'm fine. You seem stressed.
I'm in pain. I won't deny that. It was very strange. I'll
Perhaps while we're traveling, we can sing a song, and that will help relax us.
Well, you do have
I'm also feeling very anxious.
You do have the voice of the loveliest songbird, Mercy, so I'm sure that will certainly help calm everyone down. Speaking of everyone, and Esther's gonna like hook an arm through Mercy's arm. Let's go get our sisters, shall we?
Yes. I heard there was pie.
Not yet.
Oh.
as you head over to get pie, thank you so much, Trollord Games, for that massive raid. Thank you. Really appreciate you. I'm assuming that's Chuck behind the controls there. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thanks for coming in, everyone. We appreciate you. We're playing Vaesen, but we're playing it set in New England in a little gothic adventure of ours here. So please hang out and enjoy. It is a stream with some mature content in it, so please decide if that's for you or not. Well, thank you for dropping in. We really appreciate you. Hope you had a great game. Hope you had a fun time tonight. We're baking pies here. As you will go into the kitchen and kind of round up everyone, is there anything that anyone wants to do? If you want to have a moment to talk amongst each other, you can do it in a coach ride towards the hospital, perhaps. But if there's anything else you would like to do before leaving for the hospital, go ahead and speak now or forever hold your peace.
I imagine we would just want to ask about how the old headmaster died. If Elijah is willing to tell us.
It was a very dark situation. He was waylaid on the way back from New York. He had traveled to New York, I believe, to visit his sister over the weekend, and on the ride back he was waylaid by highwaymen who, unfortunately, one of them struck him and, from what we heard, broke his neck, or he fell off his horse when the horse bucked. It wasn't very clear, but word is he was found with his neck broken in a ditch on the road a few miles north of here. He was buried in New York, where his family was from.
Our condolences for your loss.
You're very kind. I didn't know him personally. I was hired soon after. But I hear he was a very well-liked and respected man.
Well, I'm sure you're filling those shoes expertly.
Oh. Well, it seems I can't even keep my house guests safe. I don't know how good I am as a schoolmaster, but you're very kind, Miss Godfrey.
No fault of your own, I assure you. We are going to be heading to the hospital for a few different reasons, but we'll be sure to keep you appraised of anything that we might find.
Please do give my best to Dr. Hawthorne, and rest assured that when you return tonight, we will have made the house ready for you and your sisters, and you will have as comfortable a stay as we can give you. Our home is your home.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And I think before Mabel goes, she's like talking to Elspeth. Yeah, and then what you want to do is you want to dice up about 6 very medium apples. And so, Mercy really likes it if I peel the apples first, but Martha really enjoys a little extra. So I kind of do a little bit of both, where like some apples are peeled and some not. And she's just like, you have to like drag her away.
And then she comes back
Elspeth.
and says something else, and you drag
yeah,
away.
and then you wanna actually a whole lemon squeeze. I don't think they had lemons back then.
Later,
but...
Mabel.
Anything else anyone wants to do? As you get into the coach, the last thing I will show you before giving you some time to talk amongst each other, if you want, you pull out the satchel that you found, which has Professor Thorpe's initials on it. You pull it out, and inside you find a number of books and papers, things of that nature. One of them seems to be a journal of some sort. As you peruse through it, the last entry is March the 14th, 1820. It has come increasingly to my attention that Dr. Thaddeus Wellspring, late of Providence and lately of even more obscure residence, was a man whose pursuits eluded the comfortable boundaries of natural philosophy. His name, once spoken with admiration in the halls of our learned society, has grown whispered, as though those who utter it dare not be overheard, Reports fragmented, contradictory, yet persistent, speak of experiments conducted at unseemly hours, of strange emanations from shuttered windows, and of sounds most unnatural issuing from beneath the floorboards of the hospital. I have made inquiries among his former colleagues and found them reluctant to speak. Their evasions, I believe, speak more eloquently than any confession. There is something awry, something unwholesome, in the wake of Dr. Wellspring's endeavors. As my own years of teaching draw toward their close, I find myself possessed of a singular purpose, namely to uncover the truth of Wellspring's present occupation and the nature of his infernal inquiries. I have begun assembling what fragments I can, letters penned in haste and never sent, ledgers with portions redacted or burned, and the testimony of a stonecutter who swears he delivered sarcophagi, not coffins, to the doctor's estate. Upon my retirement, I intend to retire fully from academic distraction and devote my energies to a full and unflinching treatise on the matter. It shall be no idle speculation, but a careful assemblage of facts and rumor, weighed with the balance of reason and illuminated, where necessary, by the flickering, perilous lamp of the occult. As you go through the things, I would like whoever is going through them, decide amongst yourself whoever is going through the bags, but whoever that is should give me a logic and investigation roll.
Let's see. I assume, but if someone else wants to give it a shot.
I can give it a little shot. I'll even use one of my advantages.
What?
Crazy. That's 2 successes.
Excellent. What you notice is that while there are quite a number of items here, it's as if many of them have been removed or called from the collection. There are pages missing, some stuff has been ripped away, there are holes in the bag where clearly there was a book of a certain size that's not there anymore. Things of that nature. You're pretty sure someone has gone through this and removed certain things.
Strange. It appears that things have been taken. Information is missing. Things are very odd in that house. Right, I meant to tell you, Martha, you saw the tapestry, didn't you?
I did.
It was our mother's house, was it not?
If not, it was a striking resemblance.
I don't think Elspeth has ever been to that cabin.
Didn't she say something about seeing it? Or
she said it was something from a memory, or something that she could have seen once before losing her sight, but surely we would have remembered her if she had visited, and we haven't been able to find our way back to the cabin.
I guess I hadn't thought of it like that. You're right. I don't know what business she would have had there with Mother.
I don't know. When I did this, I was in a memory myself. I think I saw the last time our father visited us.
Oh, really? That's endearing.
I suppose. It was before Mercy was born. I think it was when Mercy was conceived.
I look at Mercy. Ew.
I shouldn't be able to remember that. I was only 3. You two were just 2 babes in the crib. Mom said that you had just gotten your teeth and were starting to bite everything. I don't know why I remembered that. in that moment. I certainly don't know why it made me do this.
What did he look like?
If I look over myself and over my sisters, do any of us in particular resemble him more than the rest?
You find that each of you has a little something of him. You might have the brows, someone has the nose, someone has the lips, somebody else has the hair color. You see a little bit of him in everyone. There's no one that really resembles him. In fact, you all resemble your mother much more than you resemble him in, in the general shape of your face and so on and so forth. But there's a detail in each of you that is very much him.
I think I call out this detail in each of us to sort of give an impression of what this man who is our father looks like, looked like. He was tall, I suppose, handsome. He was a priest. So,
was he kind?
I don't know if he was. He seemed nice. He seemed charming, and it seemed like our mother loved him very much, and that he did care for her, but she wished that he would visit us more, but that he was very busy. There was work to be done in the area, and time would fly, as he said.
And then he died.
And then he died.
But we still have a little of him with us.
Yeah.
Through mercy.
I wish
Yes.
he could talk to you guys too.
I have enough voices.
Maple. Esther, maybe you remember all this stuff because you're really smart. And I think maybe you have something special about you too.
That's very kind of you, Mercy. But I'm glad that if he has to talk to any of us, that he talks to you.
Thanks.
You two seem to have a wonderful relationship.
Yeah. Oh, twinnies. Daddy talked to me, and he said that the house was in danger, so he needed me to put a protection spell on it,
Oh.
and I did.
Where did you put that?
It is under one of the drawers on our cabinet.
Our cabinet?
Okay.
It just had to be in the house.
What did you need the needle for?
Blood.
I will be honest, I've had enough blood for today.
That's understandable.
I couldn't agree more. I am eager to arrive at the hospital. I probably need stitches.
I thought I did a fine job.
You did a fine job with the bandaging. My bone is there.
I feel like you're always like this with my craft. Like, just gonna turn away.
Martha, darling, you know how much I admire your tenacity when it comes to a blade. But
You
I
are
am
much
alive.
better with the dead ones.
They squirm less.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Which is why you do such a wonderful job putting them back together.
And sometimes they'll come back to life.
What?
I've learned how to bring them back to life. I'm not quite sure how yet. I've got notes when we get back home.
Just yesterday.
We weren't gonna tell Esther.
It's you were gonna find out anyways once my name were all over the papers.
And on that note,
I don't want to know. I actually don't want to know. Never mind. I don't want to know.
please go ahead if you were going to say something else.
Oh, I just wanted to round it out with all this dead talk. I know we heard that the head school master broke his neck. Twist. However, I think Mabel and I can agree what we saw was not a twist and more of a gush.
Ew.
Yeah, and I think the blade it was done with, he handed to me.
Ooh.
Is that what you two were?
I would say yes, and then unless Mabel you wanted it back, Martha was going to keep it.
You don't have
no.
It. You
Is
don't have
it
it.
real?
Neither of you.
It's just gone.
Neither of you has it.
Is it real? Right?
I mean,
Lost to the invisible blade.
What? You'd have to say it with such a tone.
I'm just wondering. Just curious.
That's like.
Good question.
Mabel?
Yeah, I think she would do the best she could to describe kind of the sickle shape and the weird inscriptions and the blood and how when she held it, it felt wrong.
Ooh. You see Mercy go into her bag and she pulls out some books and she starts flipping through them to see if she can figure out some symbolism.
Yeah, I don't know if we can try to recall if we know any of those symbols or not.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Also, would this conversation in the carriage count as
Rest.
Yeah, I will allow each of you to heal up one condition.
Okay.
And you can make a logic and learning roll for those of you who saw the knife. What else was there, Mercy?
Yeah, the once per day you can use inspiration in a safe space to heal someone else's condition.
Yeah.
Does Simon, do you mind? Esther, can I heal one of her mental conditions with the conversation we had?
Yeah.
And an inspiration?
Yeah,
Okay.
make an inspiration roll.
Okie dokie. How does one do that?
So kind.
So it's empathy and manipulation.
Okay, dope. Is this before I have healed or after?
Your choice.
Well, after. Thank you. One success.
Yay.
So you can heal one mental condition from.
I love no longer being frightened. And then I heal one myself as well, right?
Yeah.
So I've stopped bleeding.
No, you can't heal the physical. The physical is way harder to read. You can heal
I'm still bleeding.
by yourself. You can heal a mental. Healing a physical is a lot more difficult.
Well, I'm no longer frightened.
To heal
I
physical
am
wound,
still frightened. I am no longer hopeless.
you have to. Someone has to use medicine on you in a safe location.
Well, I'm about to see a doctor, so hopefully he will be able to.
Fine! I see how it is.
I'm gonna use an advantage so that I can try to figure out what these symbols are.
Go for it.
That is 0.
You want to push?
It helps. I got a 1 on mine.
I will say with 1 that you recognize some of the symbols, not at all within the framework of things your mother taught you, and not at all within the framework of, or not really within the framework of things that your character might recognize as satanic or whatever, but there is a definitely kind of tie to that. There is a definite kind of anti-Christian and infernal kind of feeling to them, like inverted crosses or pentagrams and things of that nature. But there's nothing specific that you recognize, but it is clearly of a kind of infernal nature.
I don't think I'm going to push because I don't think I can do better than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel... Oh, sorry. Anything else before you get to the hospital? You arrive at St. Elizabeth's Hospital. It was once, a long time ago, a military hospital, and there's still several indications of this in the walls, the symbols and the decorations and whatnot. The hospital itself is not necessarily out of bounds for the kind of things you've seen. It is a very colonial building built on 2 floors of white stone. There is a courtyard, but it is definitely very quiet. You don't see anyone outside. There's not a lot of movement in the windows, things of that nature. As you approach, all of you, you will give me, please, a logic, and give me either logic or empathy, whichever one you like, plus your magic.
Can I add one of my advantages to this?
Which is? Oh, an advantage, yes. Don't.
Okay. I just we're getting close to the end, and I was like, yeah, well.
I got one
can,
success.
2. Got 2.
I also got 2. Oh, 3. No, 3.
4.
Ooh. Big brain.
So, anyone with at least 1, you feel very unsettled here. There is a feeling of something lingering, something uncomfortable, something that just really kind of doesn't sit well with you. Like the windows are kind of dark and it's just kind of off-putting. At 3 and 4, both of you will get a very distinct sense that there is something here that is one old, but has been kind of dormant, and is not something that has been ongoing for a while. It's kind of rather new that it has maybe been awoken or something. But strangely enough, in addition to the feeling of it being unsettling, it being kind of wrong, anything like that, you feel something else. There's another energy here, one that feels kind of warm and comforting. You see, just as you kind of come into the courtyard, the clouds break and there's this beautiful ray of sunshine that comes down and lightens up the entire place and kind of makes the place feel a lot more inviting and beautiful. And you kind of get the feeling that there are 2 forces at play here.
Busy hospital.
Yeah. Something very old and something watching over, I feel like. What could have woken it up?
I think that's what we're going to find out. Hospitals are places of life and death, I suppose.
Does that mean, there'll be a lot of voices inside? Should I wear my earplugs this time?
I think that might be a safe bet.
Okay. She just sticks her fingers in her ears.
I was gonna say, they used to put wax in their ears.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was gonna be.
Mercy is gonna pull out a necklace of hers that is just a plain leather chain, and it has an old, I don't know, some sort of like maybe a piece of metal iron that like as a nail that got bent over on it, and she is going to hand it to you, Mabel, and she's going to say, "This will protect you."
Oh, it's
I mean, it
lovely.
won't stop the voices, but it will help.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
She'll
You
put
are
it on.
now blessed. I have bestowed a blessing upon thee.
Excellent.
Inside, you find the place to be as most hospitals in the area are. There are vast rooms where several beds are lined up. You hear coughing and snoring and the moaning of patients. The beds are all, kind of roughly made and so on and so forth. The place is very white, and there's a strong odor of cleaning having been done. It's not clear exactly what has been used, but there's certainly a sense that this is a well-maintained hospital. It's not like a rundown, dirty, filthy kind of place. As you walk in, the porter leads you in, and you see that one of the main rooms is kind of barred off. And the porter tells you that he asks you to wait at some point as he brings you near there, and your steps are echoing in this, place that is most entirely built of marble, and it's very kind of cold in here. And as you kind of grab a seat on a little wooden bench that's near one of the doors, the porter saying he'll return with Dr. Hawthorne immediately. Martha and Mabel, you see that this place is wall to wall, filled with spirits of the dead. And not only is this place filled with them, they are all screaming and moaning and running through and through, and it is creating this incredible cacophony of to the point where you're having difficulty, Mabel, kind of hearing yourself think, and Martha, there's just this constant coming and going of these spirits and these ghosts everywhere, and you can tell that they are in absolute abject horror and pain throughout this entire place. The entire place sort of echoes and trembles really with the presence of these afflicted ghosts and spirits that haunt this place, and the two of you are very kind of disoriented and left reeling from this.
I am going to do my best to keep Mabel close, and even reach over to help put a hand over at least one of your ears.
Yeah, she had put some earplugs in, and now she is her fingers are as deep as she can to try to stop the sound.
They are screaming at you. They get in your face and they scream at you, help us, and it's kind of getting overwhelming. And as you two are feeling this and seeing this, you remember in your mother's book, there are several rituals to cleanse an area or to kind of pacify spirits, and you get the sense that before you can even attempt to interrogate or talk to any of these spirits or get anything from them, you're going to have to do something like that. You're going to have to perform some sort of rite to calm them down and to kind of cleanse the place, if only for a little while.
We have to do something. We have to do something. It's too loud.
Who has the book? I can't remember.
Mercy.
Mercy. Mercy. Mother's book. Can we have that?
Oh, yes.
It's too loud.
I need something for... What am I doing?
Should be something about the dead, cleansing.
Make them stop. Make them relax.
Undersea.
As you flip through it, you do come across something. It's called the Whispering Smoke, right? And the notes from your mother underneath it say, to cleanse a space of agitation, calm spiritual unrest, and invite peace. This ritual does not banish spirits, but honors their presence and offers them rest, clarity, or gentle guidance towards healing or departure.
Okay.
You start
What
going
do I
through
need?
the list of items. You need a small black bowl, spring of water, moon-charged water, salt, etc., etc. And then at the very end, you read the line, this ritual must be performed at dawn in the location one wishes to cleanse.
Ooh, okay. Little problem. This says we have to do it at dawn.
I can't hear
dawn,
her. What did
Mabel.
she say? What? I don't know.
Dawn!
Mercy.
It got worse.
Martha, do you want to take Mabel outside?
Yes. We can. Oh, yes, of course.
We'll wait in the carriage.
We'll be out soon.
And
See, maybe there's something else you can find.
Here, take the bowl.
The two of you head outside, still kind of haunted by all this noise and action in front of you. You hear steps coming towards you, and you see Esther and Mercy when you turn around. A young doctor coming towards you. He has certainly a look of worry etched on his brow as he approaches. And he comes up to you and he says, good evening, ladies. My name is Dr. Hawthorne. I'm told that my good friend, Master Berwin, has sent you to speak to me about the events of the other night. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I'm Esther. This is my sister, Mercy.
Mercy, you've never felt so ignored in your life. As Dr. Hawthorne appears to be quite smitten with your sister. He barely even looks at you, if only in the most cursory manner, and is holding Hester's hand after having shaken it just a moment too long, until you can see his cheeks redden a little bit. And then he releases and goes, I'm sorry, Esther, you said?
Yes, Esther, and this is my sister, Mercy.
Mercy, pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Hawthorne.
Mr. Berwin sent us to speak with you, probably somewhere more private, about the incident that took place recently. If you also wouldn't mind, I hurt myself at the house, and I fear I need some
absolutely.
medical
Please,
attention.
step into my office, and they'll guide the two of you.
I might go walk around a little bit if that's okay. You guys can talk. I'll be I want to get my lay of the land.
Are you certain?
Oh yes, I'm very capable on my own.
Esther is just
Although
looking
we
at
are
you
never
like,
truly alone when we have the Lord.
I suppose that's all right.
Yeah. She shoves her back and like, go.
Just this way. You can't get lost. The hospital is built on a square. You'll eventually end up right back here. Do you mind the? There's a ward marked with a blue kerchief. You should avoid that ward. It's highly contagious.
Oh, yep. Not gonna go in there. Thank you.
Please be careful, Mercy.
Of course, you too.
You step into the office with him. He's like, are you certain she'll be all right? If you want, I can send the porter to escort her around.
I would have to apologize to your porter by the end of it, so I think she will be all right on her own. I appreciate the concern.
Please, have a seat, and let's take a look at that hand. Nurse Pritchard, I think, you might want to speak with her also, but she was very distraught by what we saw, and we gave her leave to stay home, but if you need to speak to her, I'll certainly have her come and meet you. Oh, what did you do to your hand?
I fell.
Mm-hmm. Onto a sharpened saber.
Something of the like.
Well, let's see what we can do, shall we? And as he works over your hand very, very gently, very carefully, very expertly, cleaning the wound and sewing the wound and rebandaging your hand and all that, he'll tell you the story of what he saw that night, and he'll kind of repeat the same thing that the Berwins had told you, that he came running out and that he saw the strange happening in the middle of the room with all the patients crawling towards each other, and that it was only after that they noticed that Jacob Pleasant had abducted Sister Hatch and that he had disappeared out the window. Over his shoulder, you will see a painting of a man, and underneath it is a name that you recognize from a little earlier. Dr. Wellspring. In the office that he's in, you see several portraits of different men who have been directors here throughout the years, and one of them is Dr. Wellspring, who seems to be a very sort of portentous and very kind of dignified man, with gray hair, a gray suit with a black jacket over it. He has a glint of intelligence in his eyes, but there's also a bit of a haunted look to him. As he's tending to your hand, is there anything specific you would like to ask him?
Regarding Nurse Pritchett, was it? You needn't bother her with coming. If you give us her address, I'm sure she would be much more comfortable answering any of our questions in the comfort of her home.
Oh, very likely. I could even go with you if you want, if you think that would help matters.
Yes, I'm sure she would be much more comfortable with someone she knows there with her.
What, if I may, Miss Godfrey, was it?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly why are you and your sisters involved in it? What brings you to this strange occurrence?
It's a bit of a roundabout story, I suppose. You are, of course, friends with Elijah Berwin. Elijah Berwin studied under my guardian and the guardian of my sisters, Professor Ichabod Crane.
Oh yes, he's spoken very much of him. He's the one he wrote to. It's who I was expecting, really.
Yes, the professor has gotten on in age as much as he would have liked to make the trip himself. It's a bit much. I assure you that he has taught us all very well in different areas of study, and he has entrusted us to be able to help as best we can.
Certain that you'll do admirably, and, well, if I may say so, I'm certainly not disappointed myself that it was you and your sisters. Your hand will take some time to heal. I'll prescribe a few things. Would you perhaps perhaps we should leave this place to go and talk about this. Would you and your sisters wish to accompany me to dinner, perhaps? Obviously, we'd go to the hotel dining hall and not... I'm afraid my my bachelor's chambers would be quite unsuitable for this particular meeting. But if you would like, I would like to take you and your sisters to dinner, and perhaps we can discuss everything that occurred that night away from here. It's, well, if I'm perfectly honest, this place gives me the willies since what occurred the other night.
Of course, I think that's a wonderful idea. Thank you. That's very generous. We will want to see where it happened at some point.
Absolutely. We will absolutely organize that. It was traumatic, to say the least. I've seen my share of terrible things, but what we saw that night was not only in and of itself disturbing, but There was a feeling that accompanied it that went beyond merely the acts themselves being disturbing. There was something strange. I'm not one to believe in strange, unnatural things. I'm a man of science, but it certainly shook me to my core. And you can tell that he's kind of very... How do you remain so calm?
Well, the truth is that I am often not calm, but I have people depending on me. I'm sure you understand what that's like.
Well, I think perhaps we are all very lucky that you and your sisters have come. Let's go and find your sister, and we'll head to the Wellington Hotel. They have a wonderful dining hall there, and while I can answer all your questions, and perhaps you may entertain a few of my own, I would very much like to get to know you a little better.
Of course. We'll be working together for a while.
Excellent. And as you prepare to go, Mercy, you're walking down the hall when you hear, who exactly are you and what are you doing here?
Ooh. Hello. I shall give my name for a name. Who are you?
My name is Dr. Marie Bichat. I'm the director of the hospital.
Ah, yes, the Frenchman. I was told about you. I'm here with my sisters. We were under the tutelage of Ichabod Crane. We are here to assist in the investigation into the mishaps that have occurred here in the past.
Investigation? Ichabod Crane, what are you? Are you one of the patients escaped from Ward D?
No, I am... No, I'm
Well,
not a patient.
We'll clarify that immediately. And he grabs your wrist and he starts pulling you.
Ooh, no thank you. I did not allow you to touch me. That's not okay.
Meanwhile, outside, Mabel and Martha, you are in the courtyard with Harker. He sits on the thing after having made sure that you're okay. And outside here, it's a lot calmer. The spirits are not agitated, and there's not really that many of them. You sit there waiting for your sisters to come back. It's taken a little bit of time. You notice that whilst you were waiting and talking and comforting each other, that strange mist has sort of rolled in through the courtyard. You hear, coming from somewhere beyond the walls, a strange low howl that cuts right through the night and sends shivers down your back. What do you do?
Sister,
Yes.
did you hear that?
I did.
Okay.
Mr. Harker. Knowing that I can't really trust that we hear stuff. Did you hear that? Is Mr. Harker
He's
still
clearly on. His ears are perked.
there? Okay.
And you can tell that he has slipped his hand underneath the seat and he is pulling out a pistol. And as he does, he looks over your shoulders and go, "Girls, get into the coach."
What is it?
Do you turn to look?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he wins.
When you do, you see coming towards you through the mist, mouths open and dripping, are two large gray-black wolves with their eyes missing. And they let out a low growl, and with a howl they pounce.
Uh-oh.
That, my friends, where we are going to end tonight's little adventure, little soiree.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Rude.
You were gonna do that.
Oh man.
Everything's all right.
Yay!
Grr.
Yes.
Everybody good? Everybody okay?
Incredible.
Yes. I can't believe he touched me. I am a lady.
You are a lady.
Inappropriate, an ungloved hand.
The gall.
You met the wrong
Yes.
doctor. Meanwhile, Esther's in the other room with the right
Yeah,
doctor.
right. Sir, excuse me, sir. I am a woman of the Lord.
Hello, this is my shepherd.